I'm Alan Bickford. When I go to a movie, I'm mostly interested in hearing a good story. The characters ought to be interesting, and one would hope they are original. I'm not particularly interested in special. If the movie needs them, then they should be there. But it's mostly story as far as I'm concerned. That's what I look for.
Hi, my name is Larry Mobley. I teach English and Humanities and Film at Make. When I go to the movies, I like to get emotionally involved in the movie. I like films that are just overwhelming emotionally, high impact, in-your-face type of movies. Let's see, recently I really liked Mystic River, for example, because it was so emotionally intense. So if I go to a movie and I don't feel anything, that's a bad movie.
Hello, students, and welcome to Clean Slate, the show where we criticize movies. Well, we give you the chance to give your opinions, and not only that, you will hear the truth. We'll start with our coming attractions. Today we'll be talking about The Matrix Revolutions. What are our expectations about it? What do we feel? How do we think this is going to be? Is it going to be a flop, or is it going to be, I don't know, a success, perhaps? Because we've seen that trilogies, the third one always comes out to be sort of okay, and then we find out that, you know, on special, rare occasions, we can always see or find a rare miracle. So let's start the discussion here. Matrix Revolutions. About the first two, what did anybody think of the first two? I mean, let's start with The Matrix, for instance.
I found the very first Matrix very groundbreaking in the works of filming and choreography, especially with Keanu Reeves and the way they all visually moved and fought. And then the second one, you know, it had its moments, you know, okay storyline, but great fight scenes. And what I see coming for the third one, I see it's going to be, you know, it's going to be very much on the lines of the Matrix 1. You know, it's going to have great, groundbreaking movie-making fight scenes.
So you think it's going to be a success?
Yeah, I see it as a success. I see it's going to probably be, if not best movie of the year, at least one of the top best. You know, that's what I see.
I agree. Number one was awesome. Best movie of the year. Number two, it was okay. I think it was just a filler to let people know, you know, remember what happened in the first one, but there's bigger things to come in the third one. So I'm looking forward to the third one, and I hope it's a success.
The first one was very groundbreaking. It had different special effects than anyone had seen yet. And then, of course, everyone had to tag along and ride that train as long as it would last. And it's still going for a little bit. The second one was preempted by several additional storylines. The Wachowski brothers were very good at building an empire. They had the video game that you had to buy to get some parts of the storyline. They had the Animatrix, which came out, which was exceptional, and added a little bit of storyline to the second one. But it honestly looks like they had a great idea with building the first one, and we have a beginning, and the third one, and we have an end. What can we put in the middle to make some storyline?
And the answer is nothing. It was the most boring movie of the year. I thought it was endlessly repetitive. It went nowhere. I liked the first Matrix, but the second one I just thought was one of the really boring movies that I've seen all year.
Well, I didn't think I was just going to say, I didn't think it was that bad. Now, I did not like it as much as the first film. But the second one still had its moments. It still had some good stuff, and I wouldn't go as far as to call it boring. But it definitely felt like it was the filler to get you to the next chapter, which is why I think Matrix Revolution is going to be, and why I think Matrix Revolution is actually going to be as good, if not better, than the original.
Well, I'll put it this way. I bought the DVD the day it came out, and I went home and I watched the movie once with my girlfriend, and then I watched the MTV Awards making fun of the movie 10 times.
Yeah.
because that was better than the actual movie. That was better than the actual movie. But the second one had its good moments. The fight scene in the chateau, very good. It was a little drawn out, but it was good scenes. Several things, several different characters in the second one's like the Merovingian, the Keymaker. Good characters, it's just they tried to build a lot off of nothing. And to fill in, they added a lot more action and a lot more things exploding.
And the fight scene in the courtyard when Agent Smith replicates and replicates and replicates and replicates.
Oh, the bad CGI.
Yes, that it never ends. And I'm thinking that, you know, I have seen this guy get knocked down just this way about a dozen times. Let's get on with it. And when he finally takes his flying leap and, you know, saves himself, that could have happened, I guess, any time earlier. Why wait 30 minutes for it to happen?
Yeah, but the one thing, if there's any salvation for this film, I found that it sort of had that feel to it that an old period film of Kung Fu did. You know, a whole bunch of different characters whom you haven't heard of, but they're kind of, you know, like the weaponry that they use and everything, and the day-to-day battles in the Matrix world. It was kind of like a Kung Fu epic, to say the most. But as for the love story and the additional...
Intended love story.
Yes, the intended love story. I could have probably done without that, but...
The rave scene.
The rave scene.
That was long.
That was, I understand the purpose for putting it in there. They drew it out way too long.
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose. I honestly think that they wanted to piss people off with that scene, honestly. I honestly think that they wanted to make people feel like, okay, showing people how primal we really are and how we're just like...
We're all going to die, let's party!
Yeah, we're going to die, let's party, you know? And, you know, showing, you know, how human flaws are and how we just want to dance. So.
Yes, and...
Revolutions also looks really good. The previews I've seen looks like the storyline may actually redeem itself. Several of the special effects look really good, and it looks like they're not going to wimp out on the ending. It looks like they're going to give us a good hardcore ending.
You know, Matrix inside the Matrix
Stuff, yeah.
yeah. And it actually looks to me like this one actually takes place more inside Zion, more inside the real world. And that might be an interesting thing to see, because let's face it, Neo and Agent Smith are just too powerful now inside the Matrix for it to really deal that much inside that world. It's not going to be exciting at all to see them, you know, because they're too powerful.
And as a bad guy, I'd have to say that Agent Smith has to be one of the best villains, on-screen villains I've seen. I mean, who else would follow the protagonist that far? I mean, and becoming human, and after he's been defeated, keep coming back and coming back. That's just the classic villainy. I mean, Agent Smith. And then on the third one, we see in the previews that they're running at each other in the street with the replication, standing side to side. And, you know, it's just going to be the face-off. It's like a high school bully thing, face-off kind of thing. They run at each other. It's really good. It rivets me as the action guy, yes.
I honestly think that fight scene is going to be imitated over and over again in following films, actually. I believe that scene is going to be so well done and so well choreographed, and it's going to be just groundbreaking. And I honestly think that people are going to imitate it over and over again in films to follow this for the next couple of years.
The final fight scene from the first movie was very good.
Yeah.
So they'll have to outdo themselves.
Yeah. I think they will. I honestly believe that they will. From what I've seen in the previews, it looks to me like they probably go all out with it.